Good Taste Edibles has something wild dropping soon, and you're gonna want to be ready for it. They took their fan favorite Funfetti Crispy, you know the one that tastes like a party, and they leveled it all the way up. Coming soon, the Fruit Fetty 1000 milligram mega dosed crispy. Same sweet, fruity, marshmallowy goodness, but now with a ridiculous 1000 milligrams of THC. This isn't background edible energy. This is main character energy. Perfect for high tolerance folks or sharing with the crew. Just don't say we didn't warn you. Welcome to Greenway Audio Magazine. We're just going to leave it at that.
Okay. Hey, welcome.
There you go.
Yeah, welcome. Brandon, it's good to see you, buddy. And you know who we have today? She's right there.
Well, yeah.
Kassie Ferrero. Kassie, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Yes, and as are we. And as I look to you, how I was going to intro you, is there anything you don't do? Because this is a long intro that I wrote here. Central buyer for Local Cannabis, procurement specialist for their California and Massachusetts.
Missouri
locations.
specifically.
Missouri specifically.
Mm-hmm. I do help with other things in California and Massachusetts, but I mainly do procurement for Missouri.
Okay. And co-president of Jaine, of We Are Jaine, an organization near and dear to my heart. I've been a member since day one. Day one.
Thank you.
Love it. Yes, of course.
Here's my thing, and I hate to get sidetracked so early in the episode, but this is a huge pet peeve of mine. Okay, and it specifically relates to Jaine. The organization is called Jaine, right? The organization is Jaine. Like, that's what's on all the paperwork. That's on the 501c and stuff like that. But everyone says We Are Jaine so much that, like, it gets cross-branded, right? But the actual organization is called Jaine because that's where the acronym comes from, right?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Join, achieve, ignite, network, and empower.
Did you know that without reading her shirt? No,
I remember this. Is it on the shirt? Oh, it
is right there. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, well, no, I didn't even see it. Let me hear, Brandon. Let's finish this pet peeve.
That was it. Like, I felt like I felt like Mugatu. I felt like I was taking crazy pills because I would talk to one person and they'd be like, "Oh no, it's We Are Jaine," and I'd talk to somebody else and they'd be like, "Oh, it's Jaine." And whenever you're writing from like a journalistic perspective, you want to get the organization's name the way that it is technically, not the colloquialism and stuff. So I love the brand. I love that it is We Are is like the buy-in for everything. But I wanted to write my own mind and make sure that I was correct, because I felt like for a long time I was getting two separate answers. And so
I know, I'll give you the reason. I have the reason why there's confusion.
Yeah.
Kassie, I don't know if you know this. I bought the domain We Are Jaine for the organization. So there was not, I couldn't find Jaine. Jaine was already taken. There were a couple others already taken. So I kind of like brainstormed, I think, with Mitch Myers and Tammy, and We Are Jaine popped up. And that was the only domain that kind of fit exactly what the organization was about. That's why We Are is there.
That is an interesting tidbit. No.
Yes.
It's such good branding, though, because the brand, the idea of it's no different than Nike and Just Do It, or anything like that. It's just that we've had I can remember an interview with Lila where I specifically had been like, "Hey, how do you want us to refer to this?" And there was some it was written one way in the press release, and then or in some of the promotional materials, and then it was the actual name was Jaine and stuff like that. So, I such a huge fan of you guys and all the
Yeah.
different things you do, and it's such brilliant marketing, and it really does speak to exactly what the purpose is, because it's not an individual thing, it's a collective. And it seems like everybody that I've ever met that's been a part of it, everybody that participates in the boards and the events and things like that, really does have one focus of community and being able to help and uplift others. And so I love that, because the messaging that apparently Tim did not know going into this, Tim just slapped on there, is exactly the heart of what the spirit of the organization is.
Totally.
So how about this? Since we will stop talking, why don't you tell us about Jaine? You tell us what the mission behind it is. I mean, like, we can explain it, but I would love to hear it from the co-president, please.
So, I mean, really, like, the most important thing that we're trying to accomplish here is, not just creating and establishing, but like enriching and furthering our amazing community that we have in Missouri cannabis. I mean, we have such incredible people here that really care about one another, that care about the plant and care about making sure that we are, in a safe, comfortable space and get to not just, connect and, build that sense of community, but also being able to work together and grow as professionals as well. Like, I love the hang, we got to make that bag too. And if I got the opportunity to support another woman or somebody who is, down for equal opportunity, 100%, I'm going to put my money there. And I want everybody to have that network, to know like good folks that really want to make a difference. Like, we should be supporting each other emotionally, financially, mentally, all of it.
So since you have taken over as co-president, have you in your experience, have there been any moments that have stood out to you, as far as like advancing women's roles and representation in the Missouri industry? Like, have there been any moments where you're like, oh, this is it, this is awesome, this is what we want to do?
Yeah, actually, we have, I mean, one of the things, and I got to give Lila the credit. This is her, Lila, for everyone that doesn't know, is co-president as well. She covers the eastern side of the state, and I'm here in Kansas City covering west side. Um, but one of the things that
The genius of that, like,
it,
it just
it
dawned
hadn't
on me.
happened before, and
Right.
once, like, it kind of just, like, the pieces were there, and then once we saw it and realized, oh shit, we should be doing that. So that's how that came to be, and it's been working pretty well because now we have like coverage in multiple areas. It was really anyway. But one of the things that Lila really spearheaded was our Jaine Aid Award, and that stands for Advocacy, Inclusion, and Diversity. And it's really highlighting people in the cannabis space, not just a commercial license, anybody who is in our space doing the thing and really putting their money where their mouth is, and being able to support them and recognize them as businesses that are really, striving to include everybody in their business. Every voice and every opinion matters, and that's huge. And then we are also getting ready to, we're in the beginning stages of starting a women's small business grant. And that is something we're really excited about. We are currently working towards a little fund so that we can help folks that have the plans, have the ideas. They just need a little push in getting their ideas rolling. We want to be there to support however we can. And,
I love it.
thank you. We're really excited about that. Still beginning stages. We're hoping to get more of that locked in um, as soon as we have enough to do so. In the meantime, we also are providing opportunities for folks in our network to attend events such as Can Trade, and we'll also be having a booth at MJ Impact. So we'll get to have folks out there as well, and really just trying to give anyone that didn't have the means the opportunity to see what's
Right.
there and who meet the right people to help them grow.
So explain what your first annual Jaine on the Green event is then.
Okay, awesome. It is our first annual fundraising golf tournament. We have two objectives that we are raising money towards. One of them is the small business grant that I had mentioned a little previously, and the other one is our first ever paid support. So Jaine has been 100% volunteer from day one, and it is amazing to see what we've been able to do since 2019. I'm really in awe of it. But we have a bunch of amazing ideas, and the thing that we really need to get us to that next level is a dedicated person to help. We're calling it paid support, but I personally envision it a little bit as like an executive director, somebody to help with the administrative side and to help connect with our members and to help us grow that base, and also just somebody to help facilitate all the amazing ideas that we have and we just need a little bit of support with.
I think that's something that people sometimes miss out on with organizations like Jaine or MoCan or the Hemp Association or anything like that. We see a lot of volunteer work that pushes things forward, especially in the early days and things like that. But I think one of the reasons MoCan has been as successful as it has been is because of having a dedicated person like Andrew in that role. And so I think that once you hit a certain level of investment from your members, just as far as investment of time, you only have so many resources that you can expend throughout a day to be able to do things. And at some point, for an organization to grow, you have to have a person that their Monday through Friday, during working hours, is their focus is to get things done for the organization. And so I love that you guys are at that level where you need to take that role. You need to have someone take that role on, because that means you guys have gotten essentially as big as you kind of can. You're kind of, that plant that's a little bit too small of a vase right now.
Yeah.
And so it's super cool that you guys are in that position. What are some of the criteria or some of the things that you're looking for that role?
Well, we definitely need to have Monday to Friday, obviously, but some of the other criteria is someone who's connected in the industry, just to help make sure that we are really serving everybody in the best way possible. Somebody who is a self-starter, like we need somebody who's super driven and is able to take care of things as needed. And what else do we need?
Because really, right now, everybody that works with you, they have other jobs, right? I mean, you're with Local. Lila has all of her stuff. I mean, Nicole has plenty of greenery, which is one of my favorite names of any business ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need somebody because you guys are doing stuff. You can offer your time outside of work and all that kind of stuff, and that's extremely important. But you do, like Brandon said, need somebody kind of focused on it all day.
Yep. basically.
So it would be somebody outside, I would assume, of what you have. Like, do you have some ideas of people, or is this we got to find somebody
Not
once we have some
yet.
money?
We don't
Yeah.
have any ideas yet. I've been putting my feelers out there to see if
Yeah.
anybody would be potentially interested. But no leads quite yet. We're still at a beginning stage of that as well. But that is our 36-month goal. So
Yeah.
it's a big
That's
one.
great.
But we're
Yeah.
really excited, and we know, we believe in Jaine, we believe in the mission, and we want to see it continue to grow and thrive. And this is going to be the way to do it.
Yeah. So Jaine on the Green,
Mhm.
first annual,
Yes,
September 30th
correct.
at the Oak Ridge Family Social Club, which I was just at, which I think I saw you there. Was it
Really?
the Elevate 710 event?
Yes, I was there.
Yeah. They had a
They
big
had a
booth there.
great picture of me getting my dab on.
It was so much fun. That place is so cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I'm glad you're doing it there. It is like a private place right off the highway. It's like you don't even really know it's there. And then you get there and you're like, this is freaking awesome.
yeah, it's seriously one of the better places around town, and it's become a hub for
Yeah.
Candyland. Like, I run into people
Right.
here all the time. It's
Yeah.
wild, but I love it, and I love that we have that space for us, that safe space.
Me
And
too.
I'm getting to support a fellow cannabis business person by hosting the event there. And the golf course, honestly, like, your girl likes a short and sweet game, and
Yeah.
that's a wonderful little par 3 9 hole.
Oh, it's a par three.
Yes, it is
Okay, cool.
par 3, and it's easy breezy, and it will really promote having a great time, not getting
Yeah.
so like caught up in competition or anything like that. We're really just there to continue to build community and for a good cause.
Cool. So you
I,
can register at wearejaine.com.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Registration is online. We do have our bar sponsor locked in. That is OG Yields, better known as Sandro at a Bad Pony. So we're really grateful for their support. We are still looking for some more whole sponsors. And if you have silent auction items, would also love that. We will be hosting a silent auction as well. So registration for the golf tournament is online. And if you're interested in a silent auction donation, just reach out to our email at wearejaine@gmail.com.
I suck at golf. I'm
You
not
don't have to
even good at
apologize
top
to me.
golf.
Seriously.
I'm not even good at top golf, but what I'm not terrible at is going to things. I love going places and seeing things, and the silent auction aspect is the part that's going to drive me there, because I love a well organized silent auction. Because I like to come in at the last minute and be the
You're
last
that guy?
person to. I go around and I'll write it on every single one of them within the last like 3 minutes before the close of
Oh,
signatures.
just wondering who that was.
That's me. It's this
I'm
guy.
first guy. I'm first name guy, and then I stare at the list for the next 3 hours, wondering who went over.
That's too much effort. You wait until everybody else has a few dabs, few drinks in them, and they've lost track. They've forgotten about what they're supposed to be doing. And since I don't drink, I'm
Sniper.
just in there swooping in. I'm like, I'm gonna walk out of here with something. Now it might be one something, it might be 30 somethings, but I'm gonna walk out of here with something. So it's all about strategery.
It is strategery, dude.
I'm a big believer in the idea of the nose knows. If it smells good, it's going to taste good. It's going to make you feel better whenever you're talking about cannabis flower. And one of my favorite ways to shop, and the best way to shop whenever you're talking about the nose knows, is deli style. Blue Sage has one of the biggest selections of deli-style flower in the state, with great deals on bulk flower. They also have the best selection on Blue Sage house brands like Vivid, Buoyant Bob, and Missouri's Own. So come see your buds in Belton, Carthage, Lebanon, St. Louis, and Valley Park, and check out the full menu of deli-style flower and more at cannabisdeli.com.
Okay, so you also have a webinar coming up August
Yes.
26th.
August 26th, it's going to be hosted by Jenny Germano of ICS Consulting, and we're going to be doing a dive on all things compliance related.
Okay.
We've gotten a few requests for compliance related conversations and webinars, and I mean, she is really like the it person as far
Is that
That's
something
awesome.
important in cannabis?
who's to say,
I feel like that's, you know.
right? No, we can just look in the other direction for a little bit and see how that goes.
Yeah. That's what
That's super exciting.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So who is she with again?
She has her own company called ICS Consulting. She's based in Denver, but she serves the entire country and anywhere where there is a market for cannabis.
Got it.
She's got, over 15 years of experience doing it. And she really knows everything that there is to know. Like, it is amazing just listening to her talk and just getting to hear her, what her experience and just having her share knowledge. Like it's wonderful. I've worked with her personally, like at my previous dispensary job. She came and consulted in the beginning stages of that, and I learned so much just being around her for that week. We all did. It was amazing. So it's such a wonderful full circle moment for me being able to have her come share knowledge with other folks. So I'm really excited about that particularly.
Well, and to piggyback on, somebody that's been around the industry for a while, you, madame, you started in Maryland, right?
Yeah, in 2019.
And then came here.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been around a bit. You know what you're doing. You know a thing or two about this industry.
It's kind of wild. I never really expected to be in the cannabis space. It was really circumstantial, but man, what an amazing circumstance. I've gotten to meet such incredible people. I get to serve folks in a way that feels the most authentic to me, and I really am a believer of the power of the plant. It got me through. I had a performance injury in grad school. And during that time, I had gone to physical therapy and tried to, find a way forward from this. Unfortunately, I got massive bills from PT. And as a grad student, I don't know how the hell I was supposed to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
So had to put that down and figure out how I was going to manage my injury. And cannabis. That was how I did it. Cannabis and massage therapy. And man, it's changed my life. It really did.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm a huge cannabis believer and massage therapy believer.
Yeah.
Huge. I go cupping. Where's my cups?
Ooh, I
do
get
cupping
back and
once a week.
Great.
Yeah, it's a big believer in that massage therapy. But yeah, that's amazing. It's I love hearing how people found their way into cannabis, and more times than not, it involves an injury or some traumatic experience that they had or someone they knew had, and they got to see firsthand what cannabis did for them. So I'm sorry you went through that, but it's interesting. I love hearing that's how you got in, from a personal experience like that.
It is what it is. I wouldn't change anything because now I'm here, and there's really no better place to be.
Were you a cannabis user before your injury?
Casually, yeah. Like, I started kind of late actually in college. I went to music school in New York, and there were some colleagues of mine who were absolutely killer players, and I respected them so much as musicians. And I found out just from hanging with them that they smoked cannabis, and I was like, you can do both. You can be productive and cool, and not just productive and cool, but like thriving and amazing and do that. Like, it didn't dawn on me that you could have both. And seeing it in action, I was like, okay, I'm willing to like give this another go. And here I am.
I think one of the things that is weird because a lot of times we associate cannabis and drug use, especially with music and musicians and artists and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
um but even in music, cannabis has always kind of had uh a relegated like stereotype to it. It was more of this type of music, whether it was reggae or whether it was hip hop or Willie Nelson or whatever. Like there were only a few examples of like, oh, that person's like a hardcore smoker, whereas with everything else, whether it was alcohol or cocaine or what have you, that it's kind of all over the place. And so I think we get this kind of stigmatization towards anything that we used to have with cannabis, that was it made you less productive, maybe more creative, but less productive,
Mm-hmm.
less efficient with your time and things like that. And especially for serious musicians and things, I think that the reason cannabis has become such a big thing, or has always been such a big thing, is because of the recovery aspect. It's hard on your joints, it's hard on your fingers, it's if you're a drummer, it's hard on your ankles and knees and stuff like that. Tim knows a little bit about that. He's
Are you a drummer?
pounded on the
Mhm.
drums a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. Not only is he handsome, he's talented and smart too.
Oh god,
Look at you, the entire
Um,
package.
there it is.
but whenever we get into music and stuff, I think that it's gotten a bad rep for the same reason that everybody always said it's a gateway drug. It's not really a gateway drug. It's just a drug, and a lot of times people who use drugs, especially when they're illegal, don't tend to stop at one type of drug that's illegal. And so now that it's legal, you don't see a whole lot of people going out and being like, "Oh, I just went to the dispensary. I should definitely go get heroin now." But before, you were buying those two things at the same place sometimes, you know? You- eh, like that's what people don't. If I walk into Walgreens, I will go pick up my prescription. I will also buy chocolate or snacks on the way out because it's there. It's convenient. It's an impulse buy.
Mhm.
So if the guy that, I'm a massive musician, if the guy that was selling me my weed back then was also like, "Hey, have you ever had Quaaludes and cocaine and tried to stay up while passing out?" I might be like, "Hey, I have not. We should try that. I've got a whole lot of free time and a 12-hour bus ride before tomorrow. Let's do some crazy shit." You know? Vince Neil and Ozzy Osbourne and Tommy Lee were snorting ants. There's nothing illegal about ants,
Mhm.
but they were still snorting them. So maybe it's not the weed, is all I'm saying. Maybe it was just the people that were associated with the weed.
Mhm.
Hey, yep,
Nobody's ever been like, "Hey, Willie Nelson, that guy's a real troublemaker." The worst thing they've ever said. The worst thing they've ever said is he'll steal your lady. Even now. So that it just
Yeah,
observationally, I
no,
think that the reason that most musicians and artists use is because the recovery aspect. I think that it got lumped
Totally.
in together for a long time because the recovery aspect was not the central focus. The central focus was, oh, this is a party drug. When realistically, it's fun, but it's less of a party drug than alcohol, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and so Cassie, this is I'm super excited. This is Brandon's term, super excited, but I use it all the time now. We have talked about your job, your experience in the cannabis industry. We haven't really dove into you being this, central buyer for local cannabis. But can we get into the music thing? We don't have professional musicians on here.
Uh,
And we are
Always down.
huge music freaking nerds. So
Absolutely.
please tell us everything. You're a professional bassist. Please tell us, please.
Sure. So I started playing an instrument when I was 5. My mom had signed me up for piano lessons, and I hated it low key. And finally, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And then I kind of got an interest back again in elementary school. I was in third grade. Yeah, I was in third grade, and at the end of every year, the strings teacher at my elementary school hosted a school wide concert to get recruitment for the next year. And she was going around and like introducing all the instruments, and they'd play songs together. And when she introduced the cello, and I heard the cello section playing for the first time, I was just enamored. I couldn't stop looking at it. I'm like, this is the most incredible thing I've seen in my short life. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Even after the concert, I was like pretending to play the cello by myself and like thought it was moving. And when I went home that day, I told my mom, I was like, I want to sign up for strings class. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever. And so got a right? She's like, I don't really know what that is, but if you want to, sure. So she signed me up for strings class the next year. And I started with cello, and I played cello primarily for 7 years. And then about a year after I started playing cello, I got the opportunity to learn how to play bass. And this is the silliest story ever, but it is 100% true. The boy who was teaching bass, I had a huge crush on him and I wanted to hang out with this boy. I was like, I want to hang out with this boy and learn how to play the bass. Okay. I know. And
Yeah, makes sense. Perfect sense.
wild that is the start of my bass career, was this crush I had in elementary school. So I learned how to play bass and was going back and forth, and we always needed bass in strings class, so I ended up playing bass quite a bit. And then I finally made the decision to switch to bass as my primary instrument when I was a sophomore in high school. So I was like, goodbye, cello, and just played bass for a while. And it was my thing. That was my ride or die. I was a member of various youth orchestras in my hometown, and whenever there was a musical at school, like I always played, and it was just an integral part of who I was, and like I didn't know what else I was gonna do other than play an instrument and play music. So when it came time to applying for colleges, I was like, okay, well this is it. This is what I've been doing. This is all I'm really interested in. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. So applied to music school, and I moved to New York to do my undergrad at Manhattan School of Music. So I spent 4 amazing years up there, and my the friends I made, the experiences that I had in music and in life were, man, I will never forget them. They were just such incredible formative experiences, and like getting to be around like world class top tier people. I was inspired every day, really and truly. My bass teacher was amazing and so supportive. So I got my bachelor degree from Manhattan School of Music, and then I moved to Baltimore to get my master's in music performance as well. So I have got my 2 degrees. I finished school in 2016. And from there, I, started my professional life officially and was putting, things in play. I was building a private music studio for teaching. I was connecting with other musicians in the DMV area. So that includes Maryland, Virginia, DC. We're only like I was only an hour and a half south of Philly, so that was pretty close in my
I just learned the other day what DMV was.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah,
it was weird hearing
apparently
it.
it's huge in EDM. That it's referred to as DMV, as the DMV area and stuff, and I had no idea.
Yeah, I remember like hearing it for the first time. I was like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, are you talking about the car place? Like, what are you talking about right now? And then finally, like, somebody had to spell it out for me. I was like, okay, this makes sense. I still hate this acronym though.
What is it about music that, I mean, I'm from music, Brandon's from music. We've had so many people on here that started in music and worked their way into the cannabis industry. What is the connection? For me at least, it was passion. It was a passion. You know, I had a personal experience where I saw somebody who was struggling with a physical injury and used cannabis, and it changed their life. So that was like, whoa, okay, there's something here. But my passion had always been music. And then this industry started popping up, like my passion for music is still there, but it kind of shifted professionally towards the cannabis industry. And we hear that a lot. And you're a living, breathing example of it.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's
My
wild.
my ins my
Yeah, I want to hear
insight
this.
on that is I
Yeah.
think it's I think it's less about the music and more about the cannabis, because the same thing could be said about sports. We've had multiple people that are tied to sports on the show. We've had multiple artists. I mean, at this point, we've had multiple people that are tied to reality TV. And so the common thread isn't necessarily the music or the sports or the reality TV or anything. It's the cannabis, and that's why
That's true.
we talk about destigmatization and normalization. I think cannabis is a lot more normal and has been a lot more normal for a long time than people realize. It's just that people are finally starting to feel more comfortable being open about their consumption in the same way that they would about alcohol or what have you. And so I think it really is one of those things that runs the gambit of um you know not everybody, but for most people that use cannabis and have a good experience the first time, I think they will continue to use cannabis, whether it's medicinally or whether it's recreationally. I think that really the only people that you see that don't continue to use are the ones who it doesn't work with their body chemistry, and so they have a negative experience for that reason, or they have the shitty friend, the one that's like, oh yeah dude, take this gummy, and it's like a 3,000 milligram, uh type of like set you on your ass and make you sick to your stomach type of experience for your first time. Every single person that I've ever met that had a positive experience in the beginning has continued to use cannabis at least up to a point where something changed, whether it was work, whether it was they may have had tummy problems or something like that because of an oversaturation of use, or because they were using too high for too long or something like that.
Yeah.
But whatever it happens to be, I think that the cannabis overall is just one of those things that it's kind of like TV. Like once you try it, unless you have a reason to be adverse to it, most people just continue, whether it's once a year or once a day, or once an hour. So that was just my little observation. I did not mean to step on your toes, because I was actually super into listening to you, and all of this just spurts shit out sometimes.
No, I love it. I'm here for
So I
it.
apologize.
No, this is right up our alley, cannabis and music.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you're hitting on both. So please continue. So right now in Kansas City,
Yeah.
how are you? What are you doing?
How did you wind up in Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay. So also kind of a funny story. So I have a good friend from grad school who was from Kansas City, and she was my ride or die in school. And when she moved back to KC, I was distraught, you know, and we still kept in touch over the years. And as I was establishing my professional life in Baltimore, I just wasn't really digging it. I wasn't really digging the area. I wasn't digging the folks I was working with all that much. And
Wasn't as charming as you thought it would be?
yeah, for being Charm City, it's got a certain charm. Sure, we can call it that.
It's the crab cakes, but
Oh my God. So we kept in touch, and I was telling her, like, like I could definitely see myself moving to another place. I just don't really know where or what I would do necessarily. Like, I'm a freelancer. Like, my network is huge. If I don't know people in a place, then I'm probably not going to go there. And she throws out, why don't you come move to Kansas City? I was like, girl, and talk to who? I don't know anybody out there. What the hell do you think I'm gonna do? And she's like, no, it's great. And I was like, miss me with that. And then she tried again, and then we had a similar conversation later on. She tried again, like, Kansas City's great. Like, I think you should move here. Like, we need bass players. We don't have that many out here. I was like, I do not know anybody. That has to change before I would even consider moving out there. And she's like, if that's the problem, like, let me introduce you to some people. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll do that. I'll agree to that. So I did a few gigs out here and just kind of tested the waters and met some folks. And I really enjoyed everybody I worked with. The quality of music making was really high. And being an East Coast girl and like having all my experiences out East, like people talk about how that is the place to be. And like, it's not going to get better than that. But that is not true. That is a lie. So I'm just going to put that out there for everybody. And so came back to Baltimore, and I had good experiences. And then we talked a little later, and she's like, so what's it going to take for you to move out here? And I'm like, I need a job. Like, I need a job lined up. I need to have some, form of financial security before I take a huge risk like that. And she said, done, and got me a teaching job at the college that she was working at the time. So we were both teaching at the same college in Missouri. And I was like, and when I got the offer, I realized that I needed to be there in 30 days. So I frantically packed up all my shit in Baltimore, tried to get offload as much as I could, and loaded up this U-Haul that I hitched onto the back of my CRV and drove from Baltimore to Kansas City.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's punk rock.
It is.
Was wild. It happened so fast. It was a whirlwind. So I landed in Kansas City on August 3rd, 2019. And I have been here since. It's been amazing.
That's great.
Such a good town. And we have such amazing folks here. And one of the things that's really like beautiful and unique about Kansas City is the sense of camaraderie here. Like, people want to see each other succeed, and they're so supportive. And it's amazing. I've never seen that in a city.
I think that extends through to the cannabis industry in KC as well, because you originally started in the Missouri industry with KCC, right? Kansas City Cannabis Company.
Correct.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that you've actually been professionally in the industry longer than a lot, if not most people in the state, because you did originally work in Baltimore and before we had our first dispensaries open, and then you came into KCC very early on.
I was one
And
of the first hires. It's wild.
yeah, and so you've been in Missouri's industry basically from the launch, but were there even before. And like I said, the Kansas City KCC has a ton of relationships with other companies, but also other dispensaries and things like that. They've got great staff. Forrest has done such an exceptional job of building that staff, and really, he's risen up through the ranks and stuff as the operations grown and stuff as well. But the KC community kind of has a different vibe than St. Louis. And so whenever you were talking about with Jaine, Lila's on one side of the state, you're on the other side. I never realized that that was part of why you guys were co-presidents, but it makes so much sense because there is kind of I don't think it's intentional, but it's a little bit of a culture, but it's also, people don't realize how big Missouri is. Like it's 5 hours depending on traffic to get from St. Louis to Kansas City, and then you have to turn around and go back. And so having the two represented differently, and individuals in each place, KC has a whole different vibe than St. Louis does as far as both the community and the professionals and the relationship. Both of them are uplifting, but in completely different ways. And so I'd love for you to kind of, talk a little bit about your beginning and how that's evolved your career just here in the Missouri cannabis space as well.
Like my beginning in cannabis as a whole, or my beginning in Missouri cannabis?
Once you got to Missouri, yeah,
Once I
sorry.
got to Missouri. So landed in August of 2019. I had an adjunct teaching position at a college, and while I was trying to assemble my new life, trying to figure out what's going on, I was tabbing on the cannabis scene. It had recently passed on a medical level, and there weren't stores quite yet, but they were in the finishing stages. And then 2020 came, and that was a terrible year to be a musician. I'll just leave it at that. It was terrible. And I felt like I had lost everything and I had to like rebuild again. And that was devastating, and I mean, but I knew from the get go that if I were to do anything that's not music, it was going to be cannabis because that's the only other thing I care about. And that's the only thing I want to invest my time in. So, got my resume ready and I hit up some of the local dispensaries that were open. So, that includes From the Earth, the Brookside location was open at that time. Relief Resources was open, and the Greenlight Banister. So that location was already open. So I went in and just handed my resume to the manager and was like, hey, I have experience, and if there's an opening, I would love to be considered. And then KCC had an online little portal where you could submit your application. I think it was like a Google form or something like that at that point. It was like in the very, infancy of that company. And I had two interviews. I had one shortly after I moved to Kansas City in 2019, and then another one in the beginning of 2021. And in that second interview, you know, I, they showed me some love and extended me the opportunity to help open up their Blue Springs location, which is the flagship store. And I was like, yeah, you got it. You will not regret this at all. I am so excited. And so I started in March of 21 and we got that store up and running. And our grand opening was on 4/20 of 2021. So that was pretty amazing. And, getting to be a part of that exciting time. And then I was working for the Blue Springs location for a year. And I started off as a bud tender and quickly moved into inventory control, um, compliance sort of role. And that's how I met Jenny initially, was because she came and helped us figure that out less. And so for a year, I was doing things specifically in the Blue Spring store, and I was given the opportunity to help with compliance related things in all four of our stores that had opened. So yeah, because we opened them, man, yeah, within a year. We opened all four just back to back. It was wild. So I got the opportunity to do inventory control for all four, and I was doing that for about a year. And then by the time that came, I went to Forest and I was like, okay, I need something to do. Like something new. I need a new challenge. I'm open to whatever that is. Let's just think of something because I'm getting bored here. And then he's like, okay, good to know. And he thought about it. And then he came back to me and was like, how do you feel about purchasing? And I was like, maybe. I don't know. Like, okay, I'm willing to give that a go. And I had like no prior experience. So I was a little anxious, but excited, but anxious for sure. And then once I started realizing, like, I was playing around with big money, I was like, oh shit, this is like real right now. Like, I cannot make mistakes. Like, there is consequence here. It was this come to Jesus moment I had in my head.
It's a big role.
Yeah, it feels wild to like be saying this, but 100% that was what was going on in my head. And then like once I like really started to understand the implications, I was like, okay, this is wild, but it's also really fun. And the one thing that I loved the most about it was that I got to meet folks outside KCC more. Like that was really where the networking began, was in that role, and just like getting to see what everybody's up to and what they're doing. Like I had been so curious, like what had been going on beyond the four walls. So, I mean, and then from there, things just kind of took off, and we're really just like a grab your bootstraps kind of company. Like we figure things out in the moment, and we learn and grow together. And man, the culture at KCC is amazing. Like, and we're all in it together, and we're all supportive. Like, I've got nothing but love all day, every day. So
That's great.
I did purchasing for KCC for 2 years, and then I was offered a position at Local. They had established their cultivation and their MIP, and like that was hot and running, and they had a retail presence, but it wasn't really known, and they're like, okay, like we have to start investing in our retail space. Like we need key players to come help us out here. So I got hired in June of last year, of 2024, to do purchasing for the Kansas City Local location. It's in West Plaza. And then shortly after that, we got our retail director in September of 24. Yeah, we've been popping off since. It's been wonderful to see the growth, and like from an analytics standpoint, and I love looking at data. It's really fun and just it's so interesting, and there's key things that you're not going to know unless you see it. And like there are times where I'm just so surprised by what comes up. Like I have an idea of like what I think is happening, but then I go look back at sales reports and whatever other data, and it's like totally different. I'm like, oh,
Data doesn't lie.
no, it doesn't.
Yep.
So
What is it like to do purchasing for a company that is vertically integrated and all of their products are as popular as Local? I think that it sounds like a weird question, but I think people would understand. There's other companies that are verticals that maybe their flower, or maybe their vapes or their concentrates or what have you don't get the same respect that Locals do.
mhm.
And so for you, you there's a large part of your shelf space, not because you're a vertical, but because of the demand and quality,
Yeah.
is dedicated to your own in-house product.
I mean, it is wonderful to have the most banging in-house brand. Like I am not gonna lie on that one. It makes things easy for sure, but it's also just like such a sense of pride that I get to be the one who makes all that happen, you know? It's really cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, we still have, a variety of really fantastic brands and products on the shelf that complement local. Like that's a huge thing I talk about when I'm talking to sales folks. It's like
You got to have that.
this, like this is the condition I have. Like local pitchy smackers, like these are not going anywhere. So you have to figure out, or we have to figure out how you can complement what I have here. Like that is key. It either it's in price point or quality or a unique SKU or whatever it is, it's got to complement what's going on. And so it took a minute for that to like really set in my brain. But yeah, once I figured it out, that was it.
Local flower has been hyper competitive for the last couple years.
Yeah.
It's gotten recognition from Best of the Industry. It's gotten recognition from the Cannabis Cult Connoisseur
Yeah.
packs.
Connoisseur pack.
Same
Four-time
with you guys
champion on
is
that RSL.
Oh, I know.
Bonkers.
same with you.
Yeah.
Same with the extracts as far as the concentrates and things like
Mhm.
that. Um, the smackers were something that I just discovered over the last I think it was last year before last. I had never had smackers before, and the first one I had was like a green apple flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I was just like, okay, well, this is exceptional. The consistency and like the I'm a big gummy guy, and
Mhm.
something about Smackers was more fruit snacky
Yes.
than gummy. So it was less gummy bear and more kind of Black Forest fruit snacks
Uh-huh.
type thing. And I just really dug it. So, like I said, it's got to be unique to be in procurement for a company that all of your best products are coming straight from your vertical.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm obviously I work for Curio, so I'm like Curio first because I love them. But at the same time, I do have a live rosin local vape that I partake in nightly.
What strain? Tell me.
I don't know. I was looking at it last night and I couldn't. I need my readers on, okay, to read that that small.
This girl, I get it.
But it's a blue. It's the blue thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a blue container. Yep, it's all black. Love it. It's my fave.
Love those vape pens. They are
Mhm.
so slim, they fit in my pocket. Sometimes I forget they're in my pocket, and that
And the
that
little plastic little plug on the top.
hmm
Brilliant.
I, I I have a question related to the music part,
Yeah.
because I
Me too. I want to get back to that.
ADHD and sidetracked, and I apologize.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
am I correct in that obviously you play bass, orchestral, you're incredibly talented with the stand-up bass and
Yeah.
such. Am I correct that you also play the electric bass
That is
and
correct.
may have done some rock and roll related activities?
Yeah, that is correct. So I play a lot of electric as well. That was something I started way back when and then paused so that I could focus on upright for classical studies. And then once I got back out into the field, I saw the demand for upright and like having a bassist who's versatile and you can go back and forth and not just play one type of genre and one type of instrument, but also just being able to market yourself in different settings. So that was what encouraged me to get back into it. And then when I think it was, yeah, I was 21. I got my first electric bass as a professional. It was a custom made instrument by a guy in town, James Ward. It's right here. You want to see it?
I do want to see it. Yes.
Please. I can see the reflection in the mirror, I think.
My baby.
Is that
Ooh.
fretless?
Yeah, it
That
is.
is slick.
Oh,
That's real slim.
Play right there, and a little 5-stringer. So this was a really nice like transition from upright to electric because it feels like in the hand really
Oh,
similar
yeah.
to
Yeah.
upright because you don't
it's
have
got a really wide scale on it.
the
It looks like the scale is really wide on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
it's
think
starting
it's
at
just
the
because of the
bottom.
5th string.
Okay.
And then last year I purchased another instrument that's over at my current job right now. So this month I'm playing with Music Theater Heritage. We're doing Cats, the musical, and I'm getting to be a cat playing the bass. It is the most
Get out of here.
exciting thing in the world. It is prophetic that I've been talking about this like as a joke with my friends since my undergrad days. And
So like the hair and makeup and everyking.
oh
And
Jesus.
you're just playing the music.
No. I'm not wearing makeup like that. No, thank goodness. So I was a little scared of that, but I was like also ready to embrace being like a full-blown cat.
Yeah.
So it's not the Taylor Swift like
The whispers.
musical that we saw a few years ago with the
That CGI stuff. No.
Yeah, it's not that.
No, we're not. No. So band, thankfully, we got these little hats made for us. They're little black hats, and they have cat ears. So I get to wear my cat hat and play the bass.
And be a cool
That's so
cat.
cool. Yeah, you're a cool cat.
Yeah, so I get to be a cat. That's been really fun and exciting. And then the rock thing that you're talking about, or I think we're talking about the same thing, is a friend of mine in town is starting up a rock orchestra. This is something that he did in Seattle. And he's like, we don't have this in Missouri. And like, would you be interested in doing something like that? I was like, hell yeah, I would. Are you kidding? And so we had our first concert for donors back in June, and I played electrical for that. We did some tunes from Queen. We did oh god. At last it's not Etta James. I don't think that's who it is. I'm blanking on who originally performed that. And then we also had Pink Floyd, and I am a Pink Floyd girly, so I was really excited about that. And then um, we so we had that concert, and it was really fun. It was like the most fun I've had playing electric in a while.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I play musicals. I play in orchestra settings. And I have friends that compose and we play things together. I really love playing like R&B, jazz fusion kind of music, pop, really whatever it is, just as long as the vibe's right, like I'm here for it.
Okay,
It
so
is in fact Etta James.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, I was right. Okay. Yes.
So yeah. So we got okay. This came from Maryland, cannabis industry in Maryland. Over to KC. Been working in the industry, still playing music.
Mhm.
We Are Jaine. You got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
So this has been
And
super
teaching.
fun. And teaching, right? Are you teaching music?
Yes, I teach in a smaller scale now, just with everything else going on. But yes, I do love teaching.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so you have all of this going on, which is amazing. And we went way over time because I knew we would get stuck on the music stuff, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. So we always like to ask our guests what they're listening to right now. Like what's inspiring you musically right now? Please dish.
So obviously, I've been listening to a lot of original Broadway recordings of Cats because that is
Yeah.
the assignment right now. But other than that, man, it's kind of all over the place. Some of my favorites recently have been Sleep Token. I'm a huge Sleep Token fan. Yeah! Oh, I got one. This is from the Red Rock show last year.
Oh my God, you went to that?
Yes, I did. It was amazing. So that was, I made a pilgrimage. I was not gonna miss that.
Oh, yes. I had to go deep into the bank account to see. I've seen them a few times and I've never paid. I mean, it was like a mortgage payment to see them. And I don't regret a second of it.
No, me neither. They're amazing. They put on such an incredible show.
It's unbelievable. It's like a religious experience. Thank you.
I also really love Ghost, and I am so sad that I missed them. Yes, in Kansas City, they were just here on Tuesday, and
Okay.
I missed them. So really sad about that, but I still love Ghost quite a bit. I love Don Tolliver, the rapper. He is amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Kung Fu Kenny is always a go-to for me. Yeah, I've seen him twice. He's amazing live too. And Queens of the Stone Age, that's another one that's on pretty regular rotation for me. And
Have you seen their new special in the catacombs?
no, wait, where is
They did a concert like in the catacombs. I think it's London. Like underneath is where they used to bury all the.
Yeah.
Is it France? That's where they used to bury everybody back in the day. So like the tunnels are just like human skulls and all this kind of stuff. They did a live concert down there. It's beautiful. Like there didn't need to be any amps or anything like that. Like it's all acoustic. Freaking unbelievable. Oh my gosh, please watch it. It came out like a couple weeks ago.
Is this
I
on
love it.
YouTube? Where is this?
Yeah, there's bits of it on YouTube.
I gotta go.
So good.
All right.
So freaky.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For letting me know.
Yeah.
That's huge. And then
Yeah.
my favorite musician and band, I will say. Band, Fleetwood Mac is my favorite band ever. And Stevie Nicks is one of my favorite musicians ever.
Agreed and approved. So good. So good.
Can I tweak his question just slightly? As someone who plays bass as terribly as can possibly be played,
Excellent.
I learned to play bass from MXPX and Smoke on the Water.
Nice.
So I really only know anything on the top line, maybe a few on the second line, and that's it. That's it. I played punk rock. I didn't need to know more than that.
Nice.
What is your favorite bass riff or bass line?
I think I know. So one genre that I really love to play, and I don't get to play very often, is disco. They have the most slamming bass lines.
They do.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, slapping.
Really, they are just such fun, exhilarating bass lines. And like it is so groovy. I really love the bass line in Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind and Fire. It is so great. Earth, Wind and Fire is the shit, dude.
They have
That's
just some of the
awesome.
best bass lines ever.
Jaine
And they're
he's one of the most brilliant bass players ever.
and people have just been sampling them forever because of that. Holy cow. Yeah, that's amazing.
If you
Kassie,
want me to
thank
stay
you so
by
much.
Sly and the Family Stone is a good one, by the way.
Yes,
Say that again?
for sure.
If you want me to stay by Sly and the Family Stone is
Yeah.
a pretty solid bass groove.
My favorite is My Name is Mud by Primus.
Oh my
with Wes
god, did
Claypool.
you see them when they came? It was amazing.
So good. How does he still do it? It's freaking insane.
Les Claypool, also one of the most insane bass players to ever live. Like I saw him for the first time when he came with A Perfect Circle and Pussifer with the Santa tour. And that was my first time seeing him live, and I just could not stop watching him. Like
I don't know how he does it. He's not even looking at the bass. Like I don't even.
He's trolling all of us.
Yep.
Like the guy is so weird, and then he shreds, and I'm like, what is?
And he's having fun, being goofy, just awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up because he is.
Oh yeah, he's the goat. Well, Kassie, thank you so much for joining us. We have learned a ton, and this is exactly how I wanted to go with the music. So thank you. We Are Jaine, September 30th, Jaine on the Green.
Yes.
Go to wearejaine.com. You'll get some more information to sign up and sponsor, because you're looking for some more whole sponsors, right?
Sponsors and silent auctions. Entries.
Yeah, sponsors and silent auctions. So please, any brands listening right now, please sign up. Please donate. Huge fan of Jaine.
And the webinar is coming up next week.
Yes, August 26th at 6 p.m. You can register for that on the Jaine website as well. That is free for everybody.
Awesome. Oh, good.
Learn a little about compliance and listen to some experts. And then you will be in Cats coming up when?
Opening night is August 9th, and we are running through the 31st.
Jeez.
So rest of this month, check her out.
Yeah, it's going to be Cat City all August.
KC, Cat City, but backward. No, I guess it wouldn't be backwards. Great. I'm just bad at spelling.
Kassie, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my God,
and
thank you.
This has been so much fun. And good luck with the event. And we will be there supporting for sure.
Thank you. It means a lot. I look forward to seeing y'all there.
All right.
Stay slapping the bass.
That's right. See ya.
See ya.
Hey guys, don't forget, MJ Unpacked is happening September 3rd through the 5th at Union Station Hotel in St. Louis. This is the national event where licensed cannabis operators, researchers, and active investors converge to move the industry forward. Register now at mjunpacked.com to save your space, and Greenway listeners get an additional 30% off registration using code GREENWAY30. That's Greenway30. Go to mjunpacked.com to sign up now.